friends. Thanks for jumping in on the podcast today. I have my pal Suzy Arriola with me. She's with eXp Realty in Orange County, California. But more importantly than anything real estate related, we really want to talk about two Iowa girls.
Yes.
Who are rocking it in real estate.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So two Midwest. It's a great place to grow up. How long have you been in California? Forever?
More than half of my life. So 33 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you leave Iowa?
Right after college, moved to Chicago for a little bit. Got hired on with the airline. So as an international flight attendant for 19 years. I figured if I could be stuck in a metal tube for 17 hours nonstop, I could easily talk to someone about real estate. So I transitioned. So yeah, met my husband out here, and this is where I have made our lives.
All right. I love it. So give us kind of the overall scoop of like your real estate career. What's the big picture, getting started, what you focus on? I do have some specific questions for you, but give us the 10,000 foot view, if you would.
Right. Yeah. So as I just mentioned, I transitioned after 9/11 as a flight attendant. I have two children that are 22 and 23. Knew I wanted to be more of a hands-on mom, and I needed to be able to transition, especially after 9/11. I was doing those routes as well. So I'm like, okay, let's get me something where I can still be a professional woman and a mom and be home every night. So that's where I transitioned into real estate. I was hired, or I chose to first start working with Prudential, California Realty, which is now Berkshire Hathaway. Okay. When they actually, Steve Games sold his business, that's when I went to Keller Williams, built a team. I was there for 6.5 years. Had a good experience overall, yet I still was looking for a little bit more. And I moved to eXp in 2018. And I am currently here at eXp.
So. Yeah, we're like same timeline with eXp. So I love that. And we had both been with KW. I love that.
Yeah,
we have mutual friends.
I can share initially when I started my career, I decided, because I was fortunate to have my husband's income as well. So I just decided to stay as my own, independent agent. My first deal was $1 million listing. So anyone that tells you you have to be a buyer's agent first, that is junk. So
I love that. Like no one told you your first deal couldn't be over $1 million.
Or a listing. And it happened. I was in my my farm where I live. We were doing a community garage sale. I had a Prudential t-shirt on. I had shorts on, ponytail. My girlfriend who lives on the cul-de-sac where I listed, she's like, they're moving. I'm like, oh my God. So if I would have thought I have to run home, change, hi, I'm Suzy, I'm the local realtor. Like, no, I would have lost the opportunity. So you're rocking a swimsuit, or if you're rocking shorts, I've done deals in both. You just go, right? You go and don't overthink it. Just start the conversation. And I was fortunate enough, I took my mentor with me to the appointment, and my first deal was $1 million listing.
Nice. I like that. So, and one of your accolades in the business is that you're one of the top luxury agents worldwide.
I have been very fortunate, and I do surround myself with a lot of great people. So yes, I've been fortunate to speak on Keller Williams Family Reunion, International Luxury Panel Stage. That was very cool. I've, presented internationally as, a guest speaker. So
yeah.
I really wanted to have that niche market. And I have to tell you, I grew up in Iowa on government cheese, Catholic charity programs. So don't think that I had a silver spoon either, because if you're able to immerse yourself in whatever niche you want to know, that's what you do.
I love that. So yeah, Iowa girl from Dubuque, Iowa.
Yes, ma'am.
Doing the federal free cheese program. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's gross. So I knew I didn't want government cheese. So now I'm eating imported cheeses, which is much better. And I made that happen. So you just have to have the right mindset. You have to have the grit. You have to have the hustle, and just have a plan, right?
Yeah. I love
You,
that.
that, you already know that.
Yeah, it's not a silver spoon. I mean, it can be for some,
Yeah,
but
totally.
for a lot of folks, it's like, no, you're out there hustling and you're working your network, and yeah, I love it. Hey,
Yeah.
you said I saw online. Did you have a little gig on the Real Housewives of Orange County?
Yes,
What was that?
I did. Well, I've been on a few different shows throughout different seasons. They film right where we live, in our proximity to the country club, the restaurants, different philanthropy gigs. And then I had a buyer's agent who is a character on the show, and she wanted to be my buyer's agent and get back into real estate. So that particular season, we ended up having, I think, 4 or 5 episodes taped. One, I think, was inside the office, but yeah. The only thing I really got out of it was a stalker, which is another podcast. So,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Can we schedule that one? Cool.
Yeah, I do. That'll be the safety and security podcast. No, but I do know a good chunk of the ladies. Most of them are delightful. Some of them, not so much.
Oh my God, that is so cool. Okay, so send me a link of like your favorite episode because I need to check it out.
Okay.
We were on recently on a mini series for people who started chicken coops during the pandemic.
Oh,
So we can trade links.
chicken coops are coming to be pretty popular out here.
Really?
So,
in Orange County, California?
Yeah. Chicken
Serious.
coops and beekeepers for the honey. Orange County.
I love it. Cool. All right. I want to dial back just a little bit with something that you said. You had been with Prudential, then you were, which became Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah, so I switched. As soon as Berkshire took over, I knew that would be a good time to transition to my next broker.
So then you went to Keller Williams.
Correct.
You had a good experience with Keller Williams, but you said something
For
like,
the most part,
there was still something I was looking for.
yes.
What was that?
I had an opportunity to go to Austin and be in front of Gary Keller 2 times.
Yeah.
In 2018. And he's probably the smartest real estate man I knew at that time.
Yeah.
And he's brilliant.
Yeah.
He kept saying to our small group, he goes, make sure you're holding your market center or your broker accountable for an ROI because you're paying them, right? We're all paying some type of monthly or an office fee or something. And I was like, man, like, is he talking to me? So I went back and then I had another opportunity for the second visit in that same year. And I was just like, you know what? He's already told me once, I'm not paying attention. I was the total dog and pony show, for, oh, she's luxury. She can help you. She knows everything, which I'm more than willing to have a conversation and help you. Yet I can't take time away at that particular moment of my business. And they always say, don't be the smartest person in the room. And yeah. I felt at that point, I wasn't getting enough from the person that was supposed to be leading us or those particular people in the market center or the office. And I was like, I really need to start looking around. And I had heard about EXP. I already have a home office. I'm working from home today. Yeah. And it's one of those, like, I have to start paying attention and holding my own dollar accountable, really building my legacy and not continuing to line anyone else's pockets.
This conversation with Gary Keller really got you thinking about that you had twice, really got you thinking about that ROI concept. How did that lead to your exploration of EXP? How did that happen?
Well, I was very fortunate. I ended up knowing a person that was on the board at EXP, which I didn't know he was at the time. And I had just called him, and he does a lot of business development and investigation and due diligences for anyone that wants to put money into companies, private companies. And I'm like, hey, have you heard of this company? And he was like, I was wondering when you're going to call me. And I'm like, wow. So that started that conversation. And then some bigger names in our Southern California market had made a move. And some other bigger agents that I knew from my past brokerages I'm like, I really have to start paying attention, right? Because I'm very much a leader, yet I'm not afraid to follow if someone has actually kind of been like really doing their own due diligence. So I just had conversations. I said, what is it that is going to do for your business that you're willing to make a change? And they were both at different brokerages too. And I was like, okay, well, if they're not even affiliated with my current broker, and they're here looking at another avenue, I'm like, they're missing something. So this may somehow make it all come together. So
yeah.
it's just having conversations, it wasn't quick. I'm pretty thorough in a sense of making a relatively quick decision. And it probably took me about 4 months overall.
Okay. That's good. Took me a couple months.
Yeah. I mean, I was ready to do it right away. And I'm like, all right, slow down, and talking over with my husband. He's designated as the CFO on our S corporation. So.
Okay. Yeah. And how has it worked for you?
Oh, I've been really happy. Very, very happy. So it's a lot of financial freedom in a sense, because my cap was important to me because I was paying more. I was spending a lot more commuting. I was doing tolls. I was doing dry cleaning, all the little things. I put together a list. I instantly started saving about $3,500 a month.
Oh, wow.
I had the dry cleaning, the tolls, the gas, the office rent, the office dues, just overhead.
That's a lot.
And I was like, man.
Yeah. So I talked to a friend of mine in Fort Lauderdale today, and I'm curious if this resonates with you, but he said that one thing that happened for him when he made the move from an office to a virtual platform is he said, and honestly, this was probably my greatest gain. He gained 2 hours a day.
I've gained 4 hours. And for me, that was huge because at the time my kids were still in high school and I want to be a mom. I usually just work from my couch or the dining room table. So today I'm inside because my husband took the day off. Yet it's really important to have that time factor. My biggest decision was probably the passive income opportunity and the future exit strategy. Because for me, I want to be able to have that maybe 3-year, 5-year plan at least laid out. I know it'll change. It's always a work in progress. Yet for me, this opportunity just made a lot of sense.
Yeah. I get it too. And that's, we have that in common because I think we're a similar age, a similar place in our careers where it's like, wait a minute, what's my end game? Mm-hmm. And well, speaking of ROI, this whole conversation started with ROI. It's like, how can I have a better ROI on my time and my money? And am I making the right decisions in my business to lay things out as positively as possible for my family?
Yeah, if I may, I would always go on vacation, right? But I would kind of work. And I would always tell my clients when I was at a different broker, I'm like, don't worry, I have my laptop, I have my cell phone, I can work anywhere in the world. And they're like, okay. And now it's just like, I can really be on vacation at any point, wherever, whenever I want to be, as long as I have an internet connection or cell service. So that too was just the freedom to be like, actually giving myself permission to not have to go to the office. So many people think you have to be, well, COVID changed it a lot, but
yes,
you have to be professional to show up. Yeah. And it's so not true, right? It's just a matter of finding the right group, holding each other accountable, just doing your daily tasks and everything perform.
Yeah. I love that. So let's talk about your year this year and just kind of what you're working on, what you're focusing on. What's your focus this year?
So Southern California market, Orange County in particular, I would say with the state of our economy and our government for the state, people are very frustrated. People are willing and ready to now make a move. And now they're not
Austin, Texas.
Yeah. I mean, it's Texas, Nevada, Arizona, Idaho, Tennessee, Florida, just to name a few. Wow. Because we're getting hammered with taxes, state taxes. And I had a couple people that were just like, I can spend 300,000 on taxes, or I can move to Texas and move my company. And I'm like, well, so to answer your question, people are definitely looking around. They're kind of done with the whole pandemic. They're like, okay, where are we going to go? Are we going to go? What does that downsize look like? And it's already been, last year wasn't as crazy as everyone made it out to be for me, because at least what I found, people are still kind of in that holding pattern. And most of my clients have children in school at some level. So they're kind of that wait and see. And now already this year, I'm at 8 million closed and pending. So it's already running pretty hard. So
okay.
This year's goal, I have 25 million planned to achieve.
Okay. I like that. What about, I always like to work this into a podcast because it's been a primary focus just in my career, and that is helping other agents make this business work. And whether they're a new agent or whether they've been in the business for a long time, but they need a push, or they're dialing it up, or something has happened that kind of threw them off their game. What advice do you have for agents that need to do that push? Or kind of another version of that question is like, what advice do you find yourself giving to agents often or on a regular basis?
I usually always start with, what do they want, right? I'm really good about pushing and not pulling. I always say I'm driving the locomotive. I'm not pulling the caboose. So it really has to come from them first. I always ask what their time frame is. What happens if that doesn't get achieved? And I help anyone like you, whoever wants the help at any level. So I guess it would have to be on that individual basis of what their question is, their wants, their desires. So I'm really good about kind of digging down, even starting like, what do you want to make this year? How many hours do you want to, working it backwards? And really identifying, making them aware of how much their hourly wages of what they're wasting their time on by doing their own dry cleaning pickup or running to the supermarket or whatever. That little 10-minute task turns into an hour. You have to put a price tag on your time. And that's a good kind of self-awareness check too. But overall, it's just a matter of checking in with people and really finding out what that initial want and desire is.
I like to ask the question, if you look at it any given day, so you can look in arrears at the 8 or 10 hour day that just transpired, can you say how many hours of that day were actually dollar productive and how many were not? Did I do my job today?
I have a daily mantra that I said, did my actions today work towards my future of tomorrow? And for me, that's a lot of self-reflection of, did I waste time? And did I waste time not being able to achieve what I have set for tomorrow's goals? And tomorrow's goals could be future goals. So that's kind of my little mantra and my own little self-check, just so I'm not wasting time.
I like it. Do you, you've done your speaking, you've done some speaking, you've done some coaching. What has kind of been your profile of what you're speaking and coaching on?
I've done luxury. I've done moving up in a price point. I've done working with actors, athletes, entertainment. I've done for women's groups, work-life balance, kind of that mom work-life balance. I've done business plan. I've done a lot of different things. I'm 54, so I've had some good life experiences. My husband's also a 2-time cancer survivor. So, I have that too, of still running a team, being a caregiver and being a mom. And, it's like the ands, I could have gone into a pity party, but it's just like, you have to dig deep and, so I have a lot of good talking points on a lot of different subjects. It's just a matter, working with international buyers, traveled to a lot of different places, understanding customs and cultures and things like that. So,
So with international buyers, I mean, well, you're in Orange County, California, so folks are coming from all over the world. So that
Yeah, we definitely have second and third homes here for a lot of people, or people just parking money.
What a good problem to have. Let me park some money in real estate.
Well, we also call it the sunshine tax. So
wow, that's amazing.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah. I want to get back to the EXP conversation just a little bit, in that I know you talk to a lot of people about it, and I'm sure it's kind of like what we were just talking about when you're coaching agents. It's like, hey, I need to know what that person's goals are, their direction, what's important to them, because EXP is not for everyone.
No, yeah, and that's okay.
It is okay. But what do you think, what is something that you think agents just should know about the opportunity?
I would say I love live podcasts. That's the best.
Oh, it's the best. And when you have a kitten in the house.
Oh, I would say I actually gave myself permission, was what I kind of touched on earlier. You don't need a brokerage behind you for your brand, because from what I've learned in the 16 years of real estate full time, people are buying you, the agent. And if you're able to leverage your broker with the right support, yet your first impression in that conversation with your potential client, buyer or seller, is always going to be you, the agent. They want to know that you have their best interest, that you're capable of doing the job. Everything else is secondary of how it gets done. I would also say that realtors do not do a really great job of paying attention to their taxes and understanding they should put away at least 30% as soon as they close a deal. Yeah. Consider paying quarterly taxes, or corporations, of course, check with a tax advisor. Yet people need to understand you need to have an exit strategy, because your closed deals are not going to pay you year after year after year when you're older. So at what point do you want to stop opening doors or putting signs up? Not that I do that now, but just as a reference point, like, you have to have passive opportunities, and you always have to have an exit strategy. It doesn't matter what age you are. You could have a 5, 10, or a 20-year exit strategy. Mm-hmm. You always have to be looking forward to think about the what ifs. So I've given myself permission to have a plan, and always have it as a work in motion.
Yeah, I like that. And it's interesting. I think a lot of luxury agents do get kind of hung up on that I have to have a certain logo on my sign.
Yes.
People are hiring you for you. And it's not that, they don't.
I've gotten pushback. I've lost listings because they went with the other broker, the international niche brokers. It's like, okay, well, I apparently didn't do the right job of explaining what I can do to get it done. And they said something else. So,
sure.
But I mean, it's okay. I always ask for feedback. I always ask, what is it that I could have done differently? Mm-hmm. And they give feedback for the most part. So that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Well, it's exciting. Our company hit 80,000 agents just the other day. It's like, wow. When you and I joined, it was
excited. 12,000. I was 12,000 when I joined.
I was 6,000 when I joined, which was only about a year before you, I think.
Wow. Yeah, I was December 2018. So you.
Oh yeah, just one. Yep, that's right. Just 1 year.
I'm so excited for opportunities. It's like I've had a chance to meet Glenn Sanford, the co-founder, probably 5 different times, and have conversations with him.
Yeah.
He is just a brilliant, humble man.
Yes.
And he's probably the most open billionaire. I've met 3 so far, or 4 so far in my life. And to have a conversation, and just for him to engage and actually ask questions back, I'm just like, okay, he's super cool. And then our executive team, our leadership team, they're all so smart.
They're good people. They're humble. They're smart. Anytime I've been in a conversation with any of them, I was around Dave Kenward just the other day, and he was talking to a brand new agent with our company, and he clicked into coaching mode immediately. He was just asking her questions all about her. It was a beautiful thing, and she was like all starstruck. But
Dave's a great human. And you think about he's the president of growth right now, right? For North America.
Yes.
So for him to give me his cell phone number, I mean, come on, 80,000 agents and here's my cell phone number. It's like, I'm not the only one he's done that to, but that's just who our leadership team is.
Yeah.
And it really is for the agents, all about the agents. And I just love the fact that everyone's growing together for the greater good of all of us, right? Especially the ones that own stock. And you don't have to work for our company or be a part of our company. My kids have EXPI stock in their portforios.
That's great.
So
it's cool. Okay, so let's wrap this up. Are there any closing points you wanted to make, or something that you have thought of that you really wanted to work into our conversation?
What have you learned about me that was your biggest takeaway?
Well, okay, so besides the Real Housewives of Orange County, so I think that was interesting. And actually, I didn't know about your humble beginnings.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
I always carry that with me. So I would like to end with that comment of your feedback of, it doesn't matter where you've come from. It doesn't matter where you're going. Just always stay humble, always stay kind, and just always pay it forward, right? Because there's enough of anything in any profession to go around. You just really have to come from a servant's heart and just do it for the greater good.
Yeah.
Our professional fee is always secondary. It's for the job that we do. So if we do and live every day for the greater good, then we'll get rewarded.
Yeah. So see, we're ending it where we started, because Iowa girls are really nice and humble and kind. Aren't we? We are actually.
Yeah, I can get pushed. So.
Oh yeah.
Yes, for the most part. Yes.
Of course. Well, we're strong too.
Oh yes. Yeah. I'm a high D. I am a high I. So yes. I am very loyal. I will always have your back until you cross me. And then that's a whole different conversation.
Look out. Yeah.
You and I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Okay. Suzy, I really appreciate your time, and thanks for jumping on the podcast. And I think this information is going to help a few people out there. And you have a lot of fans and friends out there, so they're going to be curious what you're up to. How can
reaches out to you, I'm more than happy to have a private conversation with them, so you can connect us. So
that's so sweet, and you're easy to find. Well, and folks can, if you want to find Suzy, just call me and I'll make the introduction.
Yeah, that would be great.
Awesome. Okay, and you have a daughter graduating from college this summer.
Yeah,
so excited.
Next month. So yes.
Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you. My son graduated last May from Georgia. So it comes back to that passive income that really helped me help them at a private university and out of state tuition. So very blessed.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay. Awesome.